We brought up the button. The panic button's back, y'all. We're gonna start with some teams. I feel, oh, great. Here we go. You have to wait first. Are you ready? First up.
Let's try it again.
Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. You probably know it's not been great. 1-5 since they lost to the Lakers, and Ja Morant spoke up, and the coaching situation's a little awkward, and Kevin Durant's basically trolling his dad courtside, telling him, "We know your kid doesn't want to be here," yada yada. And his games, he's there, but he seems to be checked out, shooting about 28% from the field. So is it panic button time in Memphis? Just looking at him first.
Yeah. Would you like to?
Oh, wow.
Oh, one more.
Malfunction.
Oh.
God, what is happening?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's time. I didn't agree with the situation when it happened. I still don't agree with it. You see the results of it now. What was the point of suspending your franchise player and actually thinking, you know, it's going to be success moving from that situation? It's a bad situation. You brought in the wrong coach, obviously.
Yeah.
That Euro stuff don't work here. I'm sorry to tell you that. The military style, my way or no way, it doesn't work.
He's very, yeah.
So this is on the organization, and I feel like Memphis fans should be just as mad as Maverick fans.
Everybody walk out.
Like, yeah,
that is your power.
Go throw a kickback. Like this is crazy. It never made sense. I don't know why you put your star out in that way, shape, or form. When you do that, you're basically siding with the coach. So at this point, I've said it once, I say it again. It's time for Ja Morant to move on, and y'all can take this European coach or Euro-style coach and go see how much success you can find without Ja.
Okay, but we say things like, hey, let's move on from Ja Morant. It sounds so easy, but his stock value is probably at the lowest it's ever been. So how do you go about that?
Thanks to the Grizzlies.
But, thanks to the Grizzlies, and I also said it. Like, Ja can be unhappy, but let your team, let your agent and your management, let them fight that fight for you, and you stand tall and just go out and play the best basketball you can play. But, as a former player, I also understand his frustrations, and when you have an opportunity to get your point across nationwide and worldwide, you want to kind of take those opportunities. I felt like he did that, and I like the fact we haven't heard anything else about him. What I would like to see is for him to play better. Again, you got 29 other teams that's looking around, that's hearing and seeing the same things that we're seeing. They want to see if you're still going to compete at a high level, if we want to bring you in and we want to take this on. There's no question to what his talent is. At this point, his attitude is being challenged, and I don't even want to say his character. This is still a basketball-related issue that we're talking about. So I would like to see him go out there and put big numbers up on the board and try to wheel these guys into some wins. That's the Ja Morant that I've grown accustomed to being a fan of. I've seen him wheel them to wins that in some games that they weren't supposed to be in. I've seen him put them in situations that they weren't supposed to be successful, and they come out on top based on the level of talent that he possesses. And for that, because he's not playing at a high level, he's not enthusiastic about it. He's obviously not motivated to be there. We way past panicking at this point.
Yeah.
You blow it up. You let Bane walk in the summer. Dylan Brooks 2 summers ago. You got a new coach. Ja's unhappy. It's time for a reset on all levels.
When you say blow it up, you're talking like Jaren Jackson too, like just everything start over, get rid of him and try to move. Really?
I agree.
Yeah, fire sale. Fire sale, because you don't want this to go from one of your stars to both of your stars, right? Like, and so unless you're gonna build around him, and shout out to G.G. Jackson, one of my favorite youngins. I hope for a scenario where he gets an opportunity to play at this point. I think he's talented enough to be in the rotation. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but listen, at 4-8, try everything, and especially try my young fella G.G. But definitely panicking in Memphis right now.
All right, per Brett Siegel, there are multiple players on the Grizzlies roster that at the moment or at the time were interested in Michael Malone or Mike Brown taking over, and then obviously they went a different direction. Didn't even interview any of the other options. So, look, we've got to hold people accountable. This front office situation's pretty bad. I know it's like a faceless front office, so you don't really ever get as much heat as the ones we get to see face forward, but come on, Boogie, like that, you didn't even interview other guys that the players said,
I keep telling you, stop trusting in these experts. They're idiots. I keep saying it. I don't know how many more examples people need. And at the end of the day, the blame's going to go to the player. The organization, the people at the top, the people that surround us with the talent, the people that pick the coaches, they never get the blame for these bad situations. It's only the player. There is literally a lot of idiots in this bit. These aren't people that go to school for this, study their whole life, go to law school, med school. These are people's friends. These are homeboys. Hey, man, you want a job? Hey, you want to be a GM this year? These jobs are picked. So for the casuals, this is another example.
And you know what? On the flip side, Boogie, I've been a pro long enough to know sometimes players check out because they are making an effort to get the coach fired. Yeah. So maybe if you clean up that part and that is a genuine issue for all of the players and not just one or two that your leadership ain't leading you, and you bring in somebody else that can motivate these guys to get back to the level of play that we've grown accustomed to seeing the Memphis Grizzlies, you might see better versions of these guys, man.
I think not interviewing two men that they voiced. To me,
Exactly.
look, we've all been employees.
Come on.
There's nothing worse than when, as an employee, you just feel like completely unheard, unseen.
Right.
Like, you pay these guys a lot of money. You invest a lot of money. At the very least, why don't you take some of their thoughts into consideration? And
I'm the star
Give it
player.
a shot.
I think I'll play great under this coach.
yeah, at least interview him.
Nah, we're going to go this
We're
way.
gonna go with this guy.
And then when it doesn't work, we suspend the play. Like, come on.
That's what I was about to say.
It doesn't make sense. I want Mike Malone. No, I'm going to go get the EuroLeague
Or
coach.
at least interview him. You know what? Humor us. Can you at least
This is
do
your
that?
star player. This isn't the 15th guy on the
Tough.
bench. Your star player says, I want this coach. We gonna go this way and expect it to work.
It's a little weird.
It's nonsense.
It's a weird pissing
Nonsense.
contest. All right, here we go. Pelicans. Oh, stop me if you've heard this one. 2-8. Zion leading the team in every category minus blocks. Hasn't played since November 2nd with that hamstring situation. So it's not looking great, Lou. You're up first on this one. Panic button or no?
Yeah, I'm panicking.
Thank you.
Yeah, big time panic button. Excuse me.
Double panic.
I'm getting double panics in my ear. But listen, this has been a scenario where this team has underachieved for a number of years now. You know, from C.J. McCollum being in uniform, Brandon Ingram being in uniform, Zion Williamson. We're still waiting for that season from him.
A complete season.
A complete season. I can go down the line of misfortune and things that's happened to that organization as far as injuries go and not being able to see them as a collective. At what point do you lose hope in, hey, we're not going to see
That's
it?
tough.
Brandon Ingram is gone. C.J. McCollum is gone. Now we're back in the 2-8 position. Zion is out with a hamstring again. Like, what else is there left to be accomplished with the New Orleans Pelicans as we saw it, as we felt like that's going to be the group that's going to make some noise in the Western Conference? It's not happening. At this point, you got to panic, you got to blow it up, and got to go in another direction.
Look, man, I'm from Mobile. I'm right down the road from New Orleans, so I got a lot of love for NOLA. It's almost a part of my culture, but I had the opportunity to be a part of this organization. At the end of the day, this place is cursed. I really feel that way.
Into some
Whoa,
voodoo?
are we
Yeah,
doing this now?
It's
Getting
time
into some
for a
New Orleans
cleansing. It's
voodoo?
time for a rinse.
Here we go.
Some holy water. I don't know what it is. Like this organization just reeks of bad luck. And
So is this a panic or not a panic? You need a
oh
different
yeah,
button for that?
I thought we already established.
I mean, I didn't know if that was something else or...
It's time to rinse off. Cold shower, hot shower,
Where do you
tub.
start, Boogie?
Because here's the thing, you're Joe Dumars. You just got this job, right?
I love
Everybody
Joe
wants to put a stamp
Shout
on
out
it.
to JD, yep.
The question of Zion is a very fair question. Do you take the gamble and keep waiting, or do you pull the plug and say, all right, we're moving on, let's see what we can do?
I like how patient they've been.
It is remarkable.
They've been very patient.
Like this argument about Zion and his health and being a sustainable player to lead your franchise, that question mark has been there since Duke, right?
Yep.
Because of his size and the way that the style of play and all those things. Dog blew out his whole shoe.
The shoe, the shoe is
you-
everything.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so the questions and the question marks have always been there for Zion and his future. And they've been extremely patient with him. And I'm sure on the flip side, he's probably been extremely patient with them as well. And it just hasn't been a great marriage. And so I think it'll be great for him to have a fresh start. Obviously, with New Orleans shipping away a lot of the talent that was around him and household name guys that can help him further his career, let everybody have a fresh start, especially this young guy.
I agree.
It's such a move, man. Because what if that's what keeps you from doing it, right? What if you trade him away and then the best version of Zion that we haven't even seen yet shows up? Now you're the guy that got rid.
Won't he do?
I know, it's happened before. It's happened
Let him
before.
go.
Fair enough. All right, here we go. this is where it gets into like the weird paperwork, right? Because you'd think there'd be a silver lining if, oh, hey, let's look down the road, we've got some picks. Well, unfortunately, that's not happening because they traded away 2 of the picks that would probably be the most valuable in next year's draft. The Pacers' 26th pick, which goes to the Pacers, and their own unprotected 26th pick, which went to Atlanta. So they would have had 2 top 5 picks in a pretty loaded 2026 draft class, and now nothing.
Oh, they ain't got nowhere to go, Boogie.
So this is that it doesn't help. There's no silver lining here.
It's blew up. What you mean?
If no picks, you got to blow it up this season.
I was about to say you got no relief.
Yeah, you got to blow it up this season.
You got to trade.
You have nothing.
Or give it another shot.
You got to trade.
Yeah.
You got to give away something to try to get something and start from somewhere.
Do you run it back when DeJounte Murray comes back? Or?
You don't have a choice at this point. I didn't realize that they traded away all of their picks. You don't have a choice.
It's an ugly situation.
Yeah, what's left for New Orleans to do? So this is bad, man.
It's not good, and there's more.
It's worse than that?
Yeah, because there's a lot of rumors about relocations and adding teams and all that stuff. Every league is dealing with it, NBA specifically as well. And Chris Mannix even brought it up, I think, last week, that there are 2 teams that continue to be brought up in these discussions, and it's the 2 we just talked about, Memphis and New Orleans, impossible teams that could relocate both cities and their arenas. Their deals are up in 5.
That makes sense.
So you're looking at this. I mean, you live in Vegas. That's one of the teams that gets popped up as a new spot. If you're these 2 teams, you're also dealing with that kind of pressure. What do you make of that timeline?
I think it's time. I think it was time 5-6 years ago, especially for New Orleans. I mean, you go to the games, it's about 36 people there. Popcorn's $1.
Oh, I love that.
I mean,
but that's sad. Court
size, $25. It's not really much going. There's not much success happening for just that part of it. And obviously, when it comes to the Pelicans, they're also teamed up with the Saints, so it's a package deal. But on one side, it hasn't been any success. It just hasn't. It's time. Blow it up, move on.
I always feel bad for fans when I mean, look.
There are no fans.
Yeah.
I know,
There's
but
30
there's
people
at least
at the
a
game.
few.
I'm 50-50 on this one. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and I can tell you, if you have a good team, that is a fan base that will get behind you. They've shown that.
Yeah.
They've shown that they support their good teams. And also, just personally, coming from that city, they need some bright lights. Like they need something to keep the juices flowing in Memphis. That's my personal connection. I have zero connection with New Orleans.
I love Memphis fan base. So, I think they have a great fan.
Thank you. So I'm not agreeing with a relocation for Memphis. I think this is a basketball thing that needs to be figured out, and you will see the fans back in the seats. Yeah. On the flip side, New Orleans. I've yet to play in front of a great crowd. And I played 17 years in the NBA, and I've never played in front of a great crowd. Love the city, love the history of the city, the origins, and
love the culture.
And I love the culture. It doesn't look like basketball is that, and because obviously the New Orleans Saints are up the street, and they have no problem with their fan base and their support. Looks like New Orleans isn't a basketball town. They don't really care about the basketball. Relocate.
God, it's like so cutthroat. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. More Run It Back on the other side.
Run it up, run it back.